everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button below. Also, in the description below, I will have a link for my Patreon account. You can become a patron, and you can help me create content. You can recommend things for me to review. And also, you'll be kind of like a central force behind the content that I make. So go ahead and get on that. Now, with that being said, today I binge watched the show specifically for you guys so that I can review, and I felt the need to do it. So, with that being said, I binge watched, and this is my review for Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country is a Peele production under his Monkey Paw imprint. Also, it has a Bad Robot imprinted on it as well. And this show stars Journey Smollett, Juicy Smollett's sister, who I know from East Bayou. It has Jonathan Majors, who I've seen in The Five Bloods. It has Michael Williams, who I personally know from The Wire. It has Wunmi Mosaku, who I know from His House. And also, sorry if that's loud, Jamie Chung, who played Miho in the sequel to Sin City, and that's about it that I can think of right now. And Anjanae Ellis, who was in The Help. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about Lovecraft County, or Lovecraft Country. A quick synopsis is that a black man returns back from the Korean War. He's going back to Jim Crow South, and he's trying to find out what happened to his father. His father has disappeared, no trace whatsoever. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to figure out what happened to them. And on this journey that he takes in order to find his father, he goes on a freaking amazing adventure with magic, monsters, horror, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? This very sci-fi-esque. This show, it's in the name, Lovecraft, takes a lot of different things from H.P. Lovecraft, right? So, let's see what we're going to talk about today. I need to look at my notey notes. Now, what I liked, off the top of my head, for the most part, all the actors on the show did an amazing job. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to front. Every single actor on the show did their thing. The two actors specifically that I want to point out that did a really good job is Jonathan Majors and Michael Williams. Now, those two steal the show for me. They did an amazing job. Other things that I like are the different Lovecraft references. They mention a poem that Lovecraft wrote, a very racist poem at that. They also bring up, in the beginning, you see a Cthulhu creature, those little vampiric things that are also dog-looking things that are featured on the show. Those are also from Lovecraft novel. The book that's featured in the show, also heavily featured in Lovecraft novels. There are a lot of different Lovecraft references in this show. So, what else? Another thing that I liked are some of the monster and creature designs. Not every single monster and creature to me was like eye-popping, like wow. But more specifically, I'm going to go with Topsy and Bopsy, the sister spirits or whatever they are, curses. Those two girls were freaking amazing and very creepy, and I enjoyed them a lot. I can honestly watch like a short film about them and be like really entertained. That was probably one of my most favorite episodes of this whole series. Also, the designs for the spirits in the house, although they were heavily flawed with some of the CGI that they had, they did look kind of creepy, and that was pretty cool, but the CGI sucked. I will get into more of that later. This show does a really good job at trying to make each character familiar. So they do give a lot of backstory. They spend a lot of time with each character, and it does its best to try to make you care about each and every character. At the end of the show, do you care about them? Not really, or at least that's for me. I didn't really care about every single character, but the show does a really good job at trying to do it. The show also has hints. There's a lot of different references with the characters' names, with a lot of not Greek mythology, but like a lot of Greek history. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if this is there's a Evil Dead. See, there's the thing. The thing that they referenced in this show can also be kind of like dialed in for Evil Dead, but even though I know it's a Lovecraft inspired, I still thought, dang, that would be cool if like the Evil Dead tie-in was somehow binded with this. That'll be pretty cool. The idea of the story, even though it's based off of a novel, is very original. I've never in my life probably experienced anything quite like it. So that's just me going off of the top of my head, just watching it on my first viewing. I love the history aspect of it. I love how they, this was during the Jim Crow South. I'm a huge history buff. It was nice to see some of the historical events and historical people pop up in this. Shout out to Josephine Baker. Also, a very tragic event that not too many people know about is also featured in this TV show. Now, with that being said, those are the highlights and the things that I really liked about the episode. And then more specifically, if I have to go into details, I would have to say the episodes that I liked were 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Now, 10 was okay, even though it's a finale, but it had to be in there because it ended everything. So I felt it was necessary because I felt like 10 and 9 kind of went hand in hand together. But yeah, the backstory in the Korean War, that episode was really, really cool. The episode that featured Topsy and Bopsy was really cool, and also the episode that featured that historical event, the tragic historical event. That episode was very interesting and very heart-wrenching and emotionally driven. I enjoyed it a lot. And also the scene that featured the house and getting introduced to what's going on in the house and the things that possess the house, that was also pretty interesting as well. Now, random question, without giving away anything big, after watching the show, I have to ask myself, is Michael Williams being typecasted? I have to ask myself that. It's kind of strange that there's a handful of movies that I've seen him in and he plays kind of like this similar role. And it makes me wonder like how he keeps ending up in these roles. I don't know if he's signing up for it. I don't know if the studios are coming to him specifically, but it's kind of crazy that he keeps ending up in this same role over and over again. So now moving on to what I didn't like about the TV show. The CGI in a lot of these episodes were really bad. It's really, really shitty CGI. Sometimes you're watching it and you're just like, good Lord, like, couldn't y'all just wait and just try to like clean it up just a bit? Like just even a little bit, just a minuscule, just a little tiny pinch. Like some of the CGI in this episode was really, really bad. The spirits in the house was bad. The Korean girlfriend scene was bad. Anything with the Korean girlfriend scene was bad. I mean, and then the monsters are okay. And honestly, to me, the monsters look like chuds. If you're a horror fanatic, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But I digress. The pacing of the episodes seem a little disorganized at times. It feels like you're going one way, and it feels like a horror episode, and then it goes another way, and you feel like you're on an adventure, and then it goes another way, and then you feel like you're in a space sci-fi, and it's just like you're kind of all over the place, and sometimes the disorganization kind of kills your vibe for the show. Like to me, I never really got into a rhythm with the show, and that has a lot to do with the pacing. The pacings of the episodes itself, it makes it boring sometimes. Like sometimes it really felt like a chore watching the show. Like I started it and I was really hyped for it and I was looking forward to it, and like it was bad that I really felt at times like it became a chore to finish this series. Like, oh damn, I gotta try to fit in another episode today. Like, you know, like it's bad that out of all the episodes, I can only tell you 5 episodes that I like, and like one of them is kind of like a freebie. So technically, I only really like 4 episodes. On my first when I was barely introduced to this, I was under the impression that it was like strictly horror, but it seems more like it's like a magical sci-fi adventure type TV show. I didn't, like I said, I really thought this was going to be like kind of horror-esque and very like going down that pipeline that Jordan Peele has kind of paid for himself. But in the end, it was, to me, it was more magical sci-fi adventure than anything. Michael Williams' character's secret slash backstory, I felt like it was a bit unnecessary and random. I mean, there's plenty of different ways we could have played that out and probably got the same result and the same heartwarming performance, and kind of like one of those the tense moment that we saw, especially growing up in that era. It's plenty of things that you could have had happen. It didn't necessarily need to be that particular thing. It just came off as really random, like it kind of added nothing to the story. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it was kind of unnecessary to me. The story, the show itself is based off of the book, and I honestly thought that this was like an original Jordan Peele production. He went to town and penned all of it, but he just got a book and was like, "Yo, dude, have you read this book? This book is freaking amazing. Like, we should make this book into like a TV show." And then they did it. So it's kind of disappointing how we go from Get Out to like his team putting together pieces created from source material. I really thought we were going to see a lot more original content from Peele, but now that he has his hands on his team has his hand on Candyman. They have their hands on People Under the Stairs, and I don't know how verified it is, but they were talking. I know, but he's coming out with a new movie in 2022, I guess. So we'll see how that pans out. My last complaint about this show is that the music feels out of place at times. I don't like shows that tend to I don't like shows that tend to play modern music in older films. So it's like, it's weird as shit that you're like watching a film set in the 1920s and then all of a sudden Cardi B pops on or some shit like that. It seems really out of place and unnecessary, and I can get that it's supposed to give it that edgy adrenaline shot, but it kind of takes away from the scene because you're kind of like, what the hell? It's kind of like that Joker dance scene to me, when you watch the Joker film and he's dancing on top of the steps. The song that they chose to play, to me, took more away from the scene than it did giving to it. All right, so that is my review on Lovecraft County, or Lovecraft Country. And all in all, it's not something that I would particularly say I would watch again. I definitely wouldn't watch it again. It's a one and done type thing for me. If I could go back in time and with what I know and choose something else, I would definitely pick something else. I could have been watching The Mandalorian. I could have been catching up on one of these other shows that I said I was going to watch. Hell, I could have watched freaking American Horror Story 1984 or 85 or whatever it was. Could have watched that instead. But instead, I'm here reviewing Lovecraft Country, and to me, it wasn't worth it. So since 5 out of the 10 episodes were good to me, I'm just going to go ahead and give this show a 2.5. Or, yeah, it's going to get a 2 or a 2.5. In the rating scale, it wasn't what I thought. I didn't really enjoy it that much at all. And honestly, this is something that you guys can skip on. It's nothing miraculous or anything like that. The historical aspects of it are very, very interesting and cool. But at the end of the day, outside of that, it's not. And the actors do an amazing job. But outside of that, it just, I don't know. I don't know if it's just that they just couldn't find an interesting way to convert it from book to movie or film or TV show, but it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. And that's my review. So let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree. Until next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom on the way out, and hit up my Patreon if you are interested in help support my channel. And until next time, adios.